All right, welcome back. We have a special guest in the studio. This is Carly Fleischer with Moxie Barbell, and you are I'm going to have to read this, strength, nutrition, and health behavior coach.
Yes.
Health behavior change
Nailed
coach.
it.
Nailed it, kind of, not really, but so tell us about your business. Tell us exactly what you do.
Yeah, for sure. So the kind of unique thing about the way that I coach is that, yes, I am a strength and nutrition coach, but I very much consider myself to be a holistic health coach. Mm-hmm. So most people actually have a really good sense of what they should be doing. Everybody knows they should be moving more and eating less processed food and going to bed earlier, but there's this huge gap between the intention and the actual behavior, and that's where so many people get stuck. So I focus a lot of my coaching on the behavior change science of how we actually uncover the underlying mindsets and beliefs that have been creating the friction to you actually making change long term. So this is the unique part, is I work with my clients on things like their identity and their core beliefs and their value systems, so that we can figure out, well, what are these mindsets that have been reinforced in your brain for decades that are kind of holding you back, and then how do we reduce the friction and then make consistency a whole lot easier, so you're not just white knuckling your way through making these changes.
Oh, so this is really interesting, because this is the first time I met somebody that kind of takes this psychological perspective on
my background's in psychology, so that's where it comes from.
Because so much of it is in your mind,
it's
right?
All up here. Yeah.
You limit yourself in your mind,
totally.
Or you allow yourself to grow within your mind. So what are some of the mistakes that people make when they try to get into health and nutrition?
For sure.
And with their mindset, like where are some of the mistakes that they make?
The number one biggest one is doing too much too fast. So like anytime anybody starts this journey, they have this huge burst of motivation and they're like, I'm gonna overhaul my entire life right now. And you resolve to like work out 6 days a week, and you're never eating processed food again, and you're not doing carbs, and you're going to bed at 9 p.m. and it's all these things, and that's great for a few days. But then life happens, your kid gets sick, you've got a big work deadline, and all of that goes out the window. And then you're like, oh, I'm actually not doing any of this anymore. And it feeds into the all or nothing mindset. And that is the most common and probably the most problematic mindset I work through with clients, of just like, I can't do everything perfectly, so I'm not gonna bother doing anything at all. So it really comes down to like, what are the much smaller habits that you can do consistently on any day of the week, no matter the stressor, no matter the schedule. Start there and then ramp up the intensity.
So for those people that kind of feel overwhelmed when they even think about like where to start, what do you recommend? What are the small steps that they can take?
Yeah, nobody likes this answer because people want to jump in really fast, but I recommend starting with an audit of your current behaviors, because you cannot change what you don't know needs changing. So if you start off by making observations about what you're currently doing, you have a much better chance of figuring out like, what is that behavior that I can change that's gonna have the biggest ROI? And so once you make those observations, I recommend coming up with a scalable version of the habit. So come up with like a small, medium, and large version. So that way, depending on your schedule, your energy, your stress levels, you can make adjustments to kind of flex the habit down or flex it up, so you're not falling into that all or nothing. You're always doing something, even if it's not 100% of the max that you can possibly do.
Wow, that's so interesting. And so you do, I mean, it sounds like you're as much of a life coach as you are a physical coach.
Yeah, it really kind of all melds together, because I can't coach somebody in a vacuum. Like what you do in the gym or what you do in the kitchen does not exist separate from the fight you're having with your partner or the stress that you're having at work. It all comes together, and so it's a really big part of it.
I've never seen somebody take this holistic approach and really incorporate everything in someone's life.
It's my favorite part about the type of coaching that I do, for sure.
Okay, well, I have to wrap this up, but tell people about your website, because you do this all virtually,
I do,
right?
Yeah, so I'm 100% online, so I can work with people all over the world, which I do, and that's an awesome opportunity. But you can check me out online at moxiebarbell.com, and then I'm on all of the socials at Moxie Barbell, so Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of the things. And if you're local to Tahoe, I'll be at the Go Local Business Expo on April 3rd, so come say hi there.
All right, you guys, you heard that. Stop by at the Business Expo. She will be there. Will you have like a booth, or you just?
Yeah, no, I'll have a booth at the expo.
Okay, wonderful. So look for Moxie Barbell at the expo coming up in April. Such a fun event, such a great time.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. I'm going to be out of town. I wish I was going to be there. So, but thanks for coming in today. Appreciate you being. This is super fascinating. I'm kind of bummed that Sean Christian isn't here right now, because this is so in his wheelhouse. He would have loved to talk to you about this.
I'll come back anytime.
You should come back for sure. So.